Great. Uh-huh. For some reason, my bit rate is lower. So what is going on? I don't know why my bit rate would be lower. I apologize if it's low resolution. That should fix itself at some point. Not really sure. Not really sure why that is. But anyhow, uh, here, let's see. Let's open the widget. Warning. It's slower than something or something. I don't know. It could be my silly internet out in the cottage, so I'll keep going. Hopefully, you guys can see things. I'll make things bigger. Then maybe you could see them better if I make them bigger. So, like I said, so we're going to do forensic SEO audits. I've got this tool that I'm building. I've been doing SEO for upwards of 30 years, 28-ish years. And I've been doing SEO testing for at least 15, 16 of those years. Serious SEO testing, because I got sick and tired of trying to guess what the ranking factors are. And I got sick and tired of trying to listen to Google bullshit to me to what the ranking factors are. So, by the way, if you guys are watching live, go ahead and ask any questions on the right-hand side. I will definitely get to them. If you have a URL you want me to audit, please put them in the chat, and I will audit your pages. And we can get some really good SEO advice for you going on. So I'm going to focus on, I have two different forensic tools that I'm vibe coding. I showed you a different one last week. I'm going to show you this one this week. Focus on this one. This is the one I put the most work into this week. It will find low-hanging fruit for you if you have rankings that are just on like page 2, bottom of page 1 that could get better with these suggestions. So it'll help you improve a number of rankings on different pages that you have low-hanging fruit. And it'll also detect duplicate content now, as I said. And there's a few different categories of duplicate content it will detect. So I'm hoping I've got some pages I know have duplicate content. So I'll throw them in a tool and we'll see how well it works. Yeah. So like I said, I've been doing SEO for a very long time, and I got really sick and tired of listening to what Google says is a ranking factor. So I totally gave up on them. I gave up on the SEO industry of saying what they think is a ranking factor, because they just don't know. Google doesn't want you to know. Google doesn't tell you because they want you to buy ads, because that's how they make their money still. And the white hat SEOs don't really know. A lot of them. There's other SEOs out there: Kyle Sabra, Ryan Mazies, George from George Digital. These guys, plus a bunch of other people in my group who know what they're doing. Rick, Renee, these guys, they are super high level SEOs. Simon as well. They know what they're doing. But outside of that, it's hard to find people who really know kind of SEO and have really tested it thoroughly. So you're in the right place for SEO. Okay, so let me see. Is this bitrate thing fixed? It is. Woohoo! Oh no, that's mailed again. No, it's still not fixed. This is pissing me off here. I don't know why this is. I need to get. Hey, it's Othman. Hey, Othman, how you doing, buddy? Othman is a super awesome front end programmer. Guys, if you need any work for your front end, Othman is the guy. He's super trustworthy, super nice guy. His rates are very reasonable. So if you have any front end work that you need done, connect with Othman, who's in my chat right now. He is the man. He is the dude. You got to make sure you contact him. He is a very honest man as well, so you can trust him completely. I would wholeheartedly, 11 out of 10, I'd recommend using him for any front end work that you have coming up. As I am likely to do, is I'm building these apps and I'm getting to a point where it's like, okay, I've taken this as far as I can. Now maybe I need someone to help me out with the rest of the implementation, kind of a thing. Okay, so I'm sitting on the wrong screen. Here we go. So okay, so let's take a look here. So some folks have thrown in their audits here as well. You guys can try this out for free too right now while it's still free. It's at freeseoaudit.replit.app. So I don't know if you guys can see that because I've got a bad bit rate right now, but let me put this in the notepad for you. Hopefully Notepad is firing up and not some other app. What did I just start? Notepad, there we go. Let me put it here for you. So here it is. You guys can check it out. Hopefully you can read that in with the bad bit rate I have going on right now on my cottage internet. I'm still out at the cottage, but I'm moving back into town. I've had enough of cottage life. It's been pretty, but I'm like, this internet problem. Sometimes the highway is closed. Sometimes it snows and you're snowed in. I don't know. I think I'm going to go back to the city and get a condo where I just pay someone, they take care of everything. I'm not a country bumpkin, and I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. I wanted to be a country bumpkin. I thought, yes, living in the country, this would be lovely. I love trees. Who doesn't love trees? I love trees, but it didn't really end up being what I really wanted it to be. So anyway, go to free-seo-audit.replit.app, and you can try out some free audits as well. So I'm going to start an audit here. Now I'm going to audit this page here, this AP News, and let's check this out. Let's put this in here. So you put the URL in here, and I'm going to just put in gibberish for the keyword and say run audit, but my AI is not going to let me do that. It's going to say, well, I don't think you're trying to rank for this. Maybe you'd be trying to rank for this suggested keyword. So I'm saying, okay, fine, use that keyword. So this is this is better than a normal sanity checker. This is using AI not only to sanity check the gibberish you type in, a typo or whatever, but it's going to say, no, you really should be trying to run for this kind of keyword. So it's running the audit now. Now, if my AI system detects that there's low-hanging fruit that you're just missing, like there's ripe fruit ready there for the plucking you can take. It did, okay. So it says, okay, well, a bunch of these pages here could be ranking for these different kind of keywords. Do you want to add these to the audit? And I'm going to say, yes, audit these pages. So it'll run all those concurrently. So that's good. Right now I have it limited to 5. Eventually I'm going to release this to the public, of course. It'll be, your first audit will be free, kind of a deal. And then, or maybe, I don't know, I'll give out free credits as well. For people who listen on my show, and definitely for the students in my group, will probably always have a reduced access to it or free access to it. So joining SEO University does help you for sure. And I can close this and go in the background. So here it is. I mean, a ton of backlinks. Obviously, you can look at the technical SEO, the issues it's going to start complaining about. The AI gives you an analysis as well here for those people who don't understand what this stuff means. It says the presence of 2 high priority issues, especially EMQ missing from the title and content not indexed, can significantly hinder the website search performance as they directly affect how search engines interpret and rank the page. Medium priority issues like title tag too long and EMQ not in URL can also impact visibility. Now, it's understating it here. It's not really a medium priority issue in my mind to have the EMQ not in URL, for example. That's the primary place to put the EMQ is in the URL. But you have to be very careful. If you put the EMQ in the URL, you can't put it other places. You have to be very, very careful about where you put the put the EMQ, and you need to put it in the best places and then not in other places. So then there's also some content things we've detected here. 64 images are missing alt attributes. We do find it does have some structure in terms of headings, which is good. So now let's go to the complete. It's given it a score of 0, however, F. There are too many critical issues and high priority issues here. So let's go to the action plan. All right. So first off, they need to rewrite the title. They need to rewrite the title. If AP News cared about ranking, which they probably don't because they have millions of pages and they're like, whatever. But I'm just using this as an example. Rewrite the title to include EMQ and keep it under that. Google offers, yeah. So first off, it's too long. Now, again, it is a ye olde SEO advice to make sure your title tag's not too long. That's not so much of an issue anymore. I don't really care about that. Yes, it's better if it appears more concisely, depending on the SERP, right? The first step of forensic SEO audits is you need to go to the search, and let's do my test search here. You need to go to the search, and I can do whatever you want. I can do kitchen, reno, Granite Bay. You need to go to the search and determine what is the first thing they're going to see there. So the first thing they're seeing here is a Yelp listing, and then the AI overview with links in it. So first off, I've been hearing this thing about people talking about the death of the 10 blue links. The death of the blue link. And it's like, no, no, it's not. There's still links. People are still following them. Here in the AI overview, Nobody is using ChatGPT. Nobody is using Perplexity. Look at the stats. I have to say this every week. I'm sorry, but look at the stats. There's no one using these things. ChatGPT by far has the lion's share of people who use it in terms of Perplexity and Cloud and all these other ones, like by factors of 10. So it's the only one there to bear watching at this moment in history. And do you want to know how much of all internet traffic it gets? Google gets approximately 90% of all internet traffic. Let me say that again. Google gets 90%, 90% approximately of all internet traffic. That means the people you want to see you are here in Google and here in the AI overview for this particular search, right? You have to forensically analyze, like what does my search present to the people in that geolocation? And geolocation is set to US. I could also use an IP address if I wanted and use this search string. I have GL set to US, personalization set to 0. Have I ever shown you guys how to forensically look at one of these things? Let me make it big again so you guys can see it, and just to make sure that, I don't know if my bit rate is still lower because of my cottage internet I'm on here. So here's the Google search string. There's Google search question mark, and then they have URL parameters. These are called URL parameters. And they have GL equals US. So the geolocation is set to US, the header language is set to English, and personalization, PWS, is set to 0. And then the query is set to Kitchen, Renault, Granite Bay. Now, really, the query should be Kitchen plus Renault. I put spaces in there and Google allowed it because I pasted it into the URL bar, Granite Bay. That's what the actual query would be. And then, of course, they usually have a bunch of crap on the end of this. And that crap does mean stuff, and I have analyzed it. We have a course on that in SEO University. But it's not really that important for SEO. It's like maybe if you're doing super, super black hat stuff, maybe you care about that. And local, they seem to care about it a lot. It's like, not really. It's not really that important anymore. It's not really state of the art. I mean, you should talk to Kyle Sabra, you should talk to Ryan Mazies and George Diddle about local and how that's working. Jordan Pierce also used to really know his local stuff. I haven't talked to him. I mean, I've chatted with him recently, but I haven't talked to SEO with him. I don't know if he's still doing it seriously or what he's doing, but he's a good guy as well. So this is the search parameter here. So if I have it set to US, now if I want to set it to a neutral location, I can set it to TV, which is Tuvalu, the island nation of Tuvalu, which has it's its own geolocation in Google as far as it's concerned, but it's very, very tiny. They will float in English and other cultures that are related to Tuvalu, but this used to be pristine. It used to be the best place to check your on-page and your off-page signals. It wouldn't include traffic signals because all traffic ranking signals are geographic located. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. All traffic signals that are ranking boosting signals, which are quite a few different algorithms. They have quite a few different traffic signals of various kinds. Search versus direct, clicking through, converting versus backing out, those kinds of things. Again, I have a course on this in SEO University. Email me with any questions or ask if you want to know a bit more on the show. There's only so far I can go because it would take a long time to go over it. But you can always email me any SEO questions. Email SEO questions to here. So if I set it to Tuvalu, it will strip out all of the geolocated traffic signals, and it gives me a much more forensic a way to pick through what has better on-page and off-page signals. So for example, if I paste this in, you'll see this is what it looks like here from the US. If I paste this in, Tuvalu, it changes, the AI overview changes completely. The AI overview moves at the top, you notice now, because we're looking at this from Tuvalu. And now we have sponsored results. We still have some kind of Western Medical Canada for kitchen renos. It's a construction company. Oh, look at this. Somebody's set their Western Medical site close to where I live here in Shawnigan. Spicecraft. This is the best Indian restaurant, I think, probably in Canada, probably. Anyway, I'm very lucky to live just 15 minutes away. I think, look what happened here. Somebody accidentally set themselves as a construction company, or they either they did their title wrong, or they probably did their probably did their services wrong as they listed their services. Because I don't know why a medical company is doing construction. That doesn't make any sense. So this is probably wrong. I am thrilled with our bathroom vanity. Tony helped us bring our dream kitchen. Okay, well, maybe they do construction. Then what are they called? Medical. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe they were doing medical construction exclusively, and they've broadened out to general construction. That doesn't make any sense at all. Like what? Huh? Like every time I look at Google, there's always something new. It's always something new on the show. Always something new when I look at Google. It's like what is this? Why? What is going on here? You guys probably can't see that because my face was in the way. What is going on here? Weston Medical Construction Company. That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. Let me check my Bitstream here, see if it's working any better. It's still low, apparently. That's not good. Let me see. Let me go as far as I can go in this. Is it working now? Okay. Interesting. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what. Like, it's always something new on the show. I don't know why. Why is a medical company doing construction? Someone should call them up and say, "Hey, your local SEO is kind of messed up here. I don't know what's going on." Anyway, so you got to look at the SERP to see what it's going to look like in your area, right? So I'll change this back to US because obviously Granite Bay is in California, and so you would have look at the blue links still exist. The blue links still exist here for these guys. It's just instead of 10 blue links listed like in a list, it's 10 blue links in top of an AI overview with one Yelp listing over top of it. Or you might have sponsored results on top of that, in which case you would need my CVR predictor, my conversion rate predictor app, which is using an 11 million row modeled system, machine learned system with other comprehensive AI on top of that to give the most scientifically precise conversion rates possible. So you know what keyword traffic is worth spending money on in terms of SEO, but also bidding on in Google Ads and in Bing Ads, so you can get traffic day one. You could be making money in 24 hours. But the risk is that right now with Google Ads, they tell you how many searches there are, or tell you how much it costs to bid, but they don't tell you how well it converts. And the conversion rates are way lower than you might expect. Like instead of 5%, it's going to be like 1%, or maybe 0.5%. And so you really got to be careful about the margins, right? It's the devil's in the details. You have to be careful about the margins. SEO, it's a little different. You can spend time on SEO and you make it back later. You still want to know how well it converts, right? So there are blue links, and you want to get your blue link in here. You can definitely do this. These guys did it. It's possible. You can get it in here too. And that's what you want to check for each geolocation you're in. You want to check about how does the SERP, because Google's changing how the SERP looks tremendously. I just want to look at these images here. I just want to see, okay, yeah, so this image is mine. This image is mine, yes. Yes, I still have the first #1 ranking image in image search. These guys used to be customers. They're not anymore. Don't copy their SEO. I can't vouch for their SEO anymore. Their like cousin or something took it over. I can't beat free. My SEO is really good, but I have to be paid for it. I can't beat free. And so if cousin Fredo is doing it or whatever, it's going to be good. But they've changed the SEO since I touched it. So don't go copying it thinking that you've found the secret Shangri-La of Josh's SEO. I cannot vouch for it. But this is my image. It's still ranking #1. You can learn how to do this too and have boosts on your on page. This image here boosts the on page. It would boost AI mode. It would boost your ranking for as well. Okay. So you need to do a forensic analysis and take a look to see what the actual SERP looks like. And once you know what the actual SERP looks like, then you can be a little bit more like, okay, I know whether or not too long of title matters. And so a too long of title is not going to matter. It does matter that the EMQ is missing, right? You do want the exact match query, whatever you're trying to rank for, has to be in that title. Okay. Interesting. So this one I know has duplicate content, a whole ton of it. So now I'm going to jump over to vibe coding for a second. I'm going to say, I did a search. It should have found dupe content. It did not on the deployed site. Check logs and see what. Okay, because I know for a fact that this AP News article, I mean, and it checks my duplicate content checker checks five different things. But I did this, basically this is the best way to find duplicate content. You take the middle of a sentence, two sentences like that, and you search them in quotes. That's the best way to see. And as you can see, there is a ton of duplicate content. Of course it is. That's why I selected it. It's a syndicated news article. I knew there would be a ton of duplicate content. So why my AI failed, I have no idea. I shouldn't have done that. But again, it's a work in progress. I need to make some money back so I can hire Othman to do it. Othman, you do this. I don't have any money right now to pay Othman. Okay, because this is all in React or TypeScript or something like that. It's just mostly front end. Okay, so again, the same issue here with the meta description. It is not such a big deal that it's large. It does not want to have EMQ repetition. Now, I don't know if you guys heard that blink, but this is what happens when you're in Replit. It tells you. Okay. So it doesn't have. No, it says I don't have access to the add more detailed logging, create a diagnostic endpoint. Oh yeah, I already have that. So here I can go to, I think it's /dupe, if I recall. Yeah. So I have a secret little tester here to check for duplicate content. So let's plug it in here. You guys can use this. It's /dupe. So I don't know if I still have bad. You can go to this /dupe. It's a little back end here I made. You guys can sneak on it. It's not going to be linked to anywhere from the site. Probably. I don't know. Maybe I will. But you can check that out here to see the duplicate content, see how it's working. And so let's run the test. Let's see if this works. If this doesn't work, then I know what's wrong. It broke for some reason. So it's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Here we go. Okay. So it checked. That's a New World menu, New World sections, copyright. Woman walks by. It checked a whole bunch of paragraphs, as you can see. Checked a whole ton of them. That's awfully weird. So it found 15,000 exact matches. Yes. That's what it should be doing. Yeah. Good. So as you can see here, it found a bunch of duplicate content. It's also on all these other pages. I knew it would find that. Good. So that's what it's supposed to be doing there. So why it didn't put it to the front end, I'm not sure. But that's interesting. I'll fix that. I'll have to fix that later then, I guess. But let's keep going with the forensic SEO suggestions here. Here they also talk about trimming the meta description. You don't need to trim the meta description. You don't want to trim the meta description. Quite frankly, Google barely uses the meta description. It's not that big of an issue. You do want to make sure that you don't have EMQ stuffed into the meta description. That would be over optimization. So that's a good thing. It says you don't have it, which is good. It says the EMQ is absent from the current hashed URL as well. If you wanted to rank for Google AI personalized answers, nothing would say more you're related to that than saying Google AI personalized answers in the URL. So it still is, quite frankly, an important thing to make sure you have. So that's another very good forensic tip or point is that EMQs still matter, guys. EMQs still matter. Anyone who tells you keywords don't matter, anyone who tells you the EMQ doesn't matter is lying or wrong. They're just wrong. It's like, well, I ranked number one without doing that, and my answer would be, yeah, you're lucky. It was a very easy keyword to do, and/or you're working for a huge company where real SEO doesn't matter. When real SEO matters, and you're building up something from nothing, which I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be building in public. I have a couple SEO projects coming up that I'm going to try to commit to building mostly in public, so you can see how I do it, what I do, and you can see the results that come from that. I have all the proof as well. I have tons of build in public and testing. Tons and tons of it in SEO University, but I haven't shared it publicly for a while. So I'll see about sharing it publicly. So again, guys, if you're watching live, go ahead and put your questions on the right-hand side. I'll get to those in right after this. But anyway, anyone who says that keywords don't matter is just wrong. I'm just sorry. A lot of people in the SEO industry are very wrong. They don't know what's going on. And people who say that EMQ doesn't matter are just wrong. There's no better way for Google's AIs to tell that you are about Google AI personalized answers than that's what your page is named, right? It's in the title, it's in the URL. After that, you should be very, very careful about using it, if at all. That would be over optimization. Again, I have a whole course about why. I have the course proving to you with the tests, showing you the over optimization and showing the penalties on pages when we do it, and then giving the recommendation after that. I also in SEO University have a new AI that's being constructed that'll completely revolutionize your SEO. If you're like, oh, but Josh, I don't want to watch a 2-hour course. Fine, my AI will listen to the 2-hour course and it will tell you exactly what to do in these steps. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Not based on general industry bullshit, but based on tried and tested, proven, scientifically proven ranking factors that we've discovered in SEO University. We are the single best SEO testing group in the world. Period. I challenge any other group to try to contest that. We are simply the best testing in the world that exists, and I'm building an AI to leverage that. And it's very difficult to do. Programming this, you're like, oh, Josh, this must be so easy to do. Not at all. It's very difficult to do this because SEO suggestions online are terrible. Everything that ChatGPT and Gemini and Perplexity tell you to do for SEO is the exact wrong answer. I have to completely stop it from saying what it wants to say and make it say what it should be saying based on our knowledge base. So it's not. I have to totally jailbreak their AIs to get it to say the right things for SEO. So it's not easy to do at all. So I'm very proud of it, and you guys should definitely be using this here at free SEO Audit Replit.app, especially while it is still free. So actually, what I'm going to do right now, I'll do it later. I'll do it right now. Okay, let me take this. And if you're like, how do you vibe code this? Well, this is how you would do it. And I take these logs, and I say, okay, we take this, boom, boom, boom. Take this, I'm going to go over here to this. This is what it found. 1, notice it searched weird sentences. It should not be. 2, notice it searched like 50 of them. Should only be 5. 3, notice it found dupe content but did not report it to the action items. Please fix. Now, you do that in planning mode so it doesn't go breaking your site. Or if you have the money, you hire Othman, and Othman does it. Because Othman is better. Okay. All right, here's another critical issue. We'll see what you'll see. So like I said, a little bit, like 5% of this, you're going to see me vibe coding things on the fly. And so you can see what vibe coding looks like. I'm thinking of making my own vibe coding show for SEO and internet marketing, where 95% will be vibe coding, and I'll be building in public these kinds of tools I'm doing. And then the other 5% will be SEO knowledge. This is reversed. This is 95% SEO knowledge and 5% vibe coding knowledge. But I mean, if you're not into using agents, you're not into vibe coding, you're probably missing out on some stuff, quite frankly. And so it came back with an answer. It says, I see the problem. It's doing all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Yes, start building. Go. Okay. Okay, so here's another this is a critical issue for sure. And they don't have the sheet. Now, what's the sheet? The sheet is my particular acronym. I took it from EEAT, which is Google's, this here. This thing here is Google's EEAT. I took it from that, but it is I included everything that on page you need to have, right? You need to have semantic keywords. You need, and that's like since 1998. All the on-page keywords used to be only the semantic keywords, and they used to be very, very simple LSI or vector collocates of grammatical collocates of particular specific words, and Google search was nothing more than a bona fide like Control F search in Word, which will also search some synonyms. Ramped up to today, where it's completely more complicated. The way they calculate the semantic entities, they're not keywords anymore, they're entities. Well, actually, that's not true. They're both entities and keywords. If you think Google doesn't still have a keyword system, like ye olde keyword system, you're wrong. They have both. They have keywords and entities. And entities are NLP, natural language programming, constructed. It's still based on grammar, right? It's still just the mathematics of grammar, but it's constructed words that would be entities, ideas that would be related to this idea, and ideas that are subordinate to this idea. And people like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they were informing the knowledge graph with this knowledge. Like if SEOs didn't exist, Google wouldn't exist, because SEOs, we construct the structure that they make programming to take. And then they ask us to do something like disavow all our links so they can machine learn where bad links are. Or they ask us to do the audit tag so they can, the audit code so they can machine learn what an audit byline is, an author byline is rather, the author code, the author byline. They ask us to do the rel next prev so they can see what a structured kind of page of canonical content would be and how to do a canonical. And then they program it and then they say, fuck you, SEOs. And then they destroy a bunch more of us. That's the relationship. It's a very toxic relationship, quite frankly. It's a relationship that we should get out of. If we didn't want to be in a toxic relationship, it's very toxic. It's very, they throw us just the scraps from their table. But because they have 90% of all internet traffic, it's on lock, we have no choice but to rank in Google. Oh, and I didn't tell you what ChatGPT had. ChatGPT has 0.5% of all internet traffic. I forgot that point from earlier. You get my mouth talking, the blood goes from the brain to the lips, and I can't remember what I'm saying. But ChatGPT has 0.5% of internet traffic, all internet traffic. Google has approximately 90%. They have approximately 0.5%. I did the math. Now, between you and me, 0.5% is still a fuck ton of traffic, right? If I was getting 0.5% of all internet traffic, I would be a billionaire. So if you skew young and if you skew tech, you might actually pick up some sales from ChatGPT. And I have the best ChatGPT ranking courses that exist anywhere. All this GEO bullshit people talk about, AEO bullshit they talk about, they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. They're just making it up. They're literally just making it up. I have the courses. I will show you when you join SEO University, or I can show you the courses before you join if you want me to prove it, that show you how to rank in ChatGPT. Although for 99% of people, it's not worth your time at all. YouTube is much better to rank in. It is the second biggest search engine by factors of 10. YouTube has far, far more of the share of all internet traffic. And after that, Bing is still bigger than ChatGPT. You should go for those three before ChatGPT. But it's the new sexy thing that everyone is getting bamboozled and tricked into caring about, which you don't need to at all. Oh, by the way, Dig is new. Dig is back. Did you guys remember Dig? So here's Dig. If you guys don't remember it, it's back. There is some, yeah, see, but you're not really allowed. See, I was telling people I'm doing free SEO audits for you, but in post cut removed. There's some douchebags on here. I'm like, I didn't even put in the links, but they won't even let me help people. That's because they have their own community that they wanna monetize on it. But we should make our own community, quite frankly, on Dig. But anyway, I probably will. As soon as I can make my own community there, I will. I just don't have the ability to post there yet. But what do I care about Dig? I care about Dig because its DA is like 90 something. It's one of the highest DAs ever, domain authorities ever. And if it gets traffic and it gets people coming back, the entity vector of Dig is still huge. If I search Dig in Google, if I go DIGG, they're like, yeah, it's a website. We know all about it. It was huge. It is huge. If you can get mentioned on it, it probably will be very good for your off-page signals. In fact, I'm not saying probably because I don't know. I do know what the off-page signals are. I just don't know if it'll acquire them because it's brand new and that there's like no one using it. But there's a little tip for you. Dig is back and registered, and yeah, it could be really good. It could be really good. We'll have to see. Okay. Anyway, back to Sheet. So it's like, is that where I get the semantic, helpful, experienced, expertise, authority, trust, and timely keywords? No, not the primary place. The primary place you get semantic keywords, which are yieldy keywords, which are now entity-based, but also keyword-based. There's the two systems running concurrently, as far as I can tell. Those still matter. You also have to have the helpful keywords. You have to have the words of helpfulness that all the helpful people say on a helpful article. You need those words on your article. You need to show your experience. You need to show your expertise, right? You need to show that you've done experiments. E could be for experiment as well. You need to show that you've tested it and that when you're giving a review, you're talking about something, anything. I'm not just talking about I'm not just talking about affiliate niches or drop shipping niches or e-commerce niches where you need to say, I've tested this, we've tested it out, we've got it. Here's an independent review. Google wants that for everything. You need to use your mind to think how you can do that kind of format for everything, because these are just general ranking factors. It doesn't know or care what kind of page you're on. Google does not break down the internet the way that we SEOs do at all, in any way. They don't do query intent. Query intent for Google is not a thing, not directly. They have something called query interpretation. And I've seen this directly from their documentation, but not query intent. That's our word for us trying to figure out how they work, which is completely wrong. Okay, so Reddit says it's done now. Boom. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a test here. Let's run a test. Let's take this here and go here, put this here, and say run URL audit. It'll probably detect the extra ones if I want to run them here. No thanks. There we go. So we'll let that run. Okay. So you need to show your experience and your expertise. There's something called the mountaintop algorithm that Bill Slosky, RIP, when he was still with us, he did us the honor of analyzing a lot of Google's patents and explaining a lot of how forensically, there's a forensic SEO of old, forensically how Google worked. He's passed away, sadly, but his points still stand about you need to be on the mountaintop. What all the experts say, and you need to say it, and the way they say it. And who are all the experts? The experts are the people who have certain signals. Edu, Gov stuff could be at play there, but also just people say, you know, who's an expert at this? You know who's an expert at SEO? Josh is. You know who has filled in Josh's? You know who's filled in the knowledge graph? Josh has. Josh has manipulated the knowledge graph. Look at Josh's big, ugly face. See, it thinks I am synonymous with search engine optimization. How did I do that? It's by manipulating. But by doing what everybody else has done is by manipulating the the knowledge graph when you could do that. You can't really do that anymore. I mean, you can add stuff to it. If you make a new company, it'll add a new entity when it detects you, but you can't change the structure of the knowledge graph. That's cemented. They've decided, and you're not really going to help boost yourself by making like a topical silo and informing Google to what apples are. Like that's like if you're trying to rank for a best SEO app, and you have a page on your site called SEO. What is SEO? What does the word best mean? What does the word app mean? And you're drilling down from there in some kind of silo bullshit. Any kind of silo bullshit, you're not going to help. It's not going to help you rank. Done. Done. There's one topical cluster you need on your site. The index page. I'll draw it here on the. I'll draw it here. You need the index page at the top, and then you need a bunch of pages underneath it that all link to each other from a very robust CSS menu. The CSS menu is where you put silos and drop downs. You do not put silos in terms of your linking structure, and you do not put silos in terms of your URL structure. That is how to cut off portions of your site. That is how to strangle your page rank sculpting or your link juice flow, which is the white hat way of saying page rank sculpting, right? Which is, check it out, page rank sculpting has been a thing forever. It's the same as link juice flow. It means the exact same thing, just there's a white hat way to say it and a black hat way to say it, which is complete bullshit hat is what, at that point. The hats don't fucking matter at this point. Any kind of SEO is black hat as far as Google's concerned. They're trying to destroy us, kill you, make you buy ads. If you have to buy ads, fine. Use my conversion rate predictor. It'll save you thousands of dollars and make you thousands of dollars in only bidding on keywords that you know has a good conversion rate and bidding at the right amount so you know you'll be in the green as opposed to being in the red, overspending on it. Like I've done this experiment. Spending $1,200 on a keyword, only making $500 back. That happens to people on Google Ads all the time. So anyway, and that conversion rate can help you with SEO. It's like, I'm ranking number 1 for best sprockets that have a widget that are 8 inches long, 2026 PDF. Great, good for you. You're ranking number 1 for that query. First off, anyone could. It's the easiest query in the world because it's so long. 2, no one's converting on that. It doesn't make any money at all. The AI overview is just going to steal your information you gave and not send you any traffic either. So there's a certain way you need to do SEO these days. You guys need to keep watching and find out what that is. Or email me, ask any questions on the right-hand side. So here's the problem. You need to have the semantic keywords helpful, experience, expertise. You need to show your authority in the mountaintop algorithm. Therefore, you will get the second last T, trust, and you need to have timely keywords. You need to say this is from 2026. This is from January 2026. You need to have a date because Google always wants fresh, expert, helpful, and timely content to rank. Right? That is the key for on-page, and on-page by far is the biggest ranking factor when you combine them all together. When you combine all of, like if this is the pie chart of ranking factors, on-page would be this part here for sure when you combine all of the factors together. The rest would be traffic and off-page here, traffic here. It would be something like that. The site of the size matters. The site of the size the size of the site matters. I don't know if you can see that pie chart. I don't know where my head is right now. Where's my head floating? The size of the site matters. The internal linkage matters. That's all content based. It's all on site. On site by far is the majority of the ranking factors by far. People used to think it was the other way around, and it was. I will fully admit it was for a decade at least. If not longer, 15 years, probably, maybe even 20 years, the vast majority of the ranking signals, pound for pound, came from off-page factors, mostly links, mostly do follow links for that history. Not anymore. Those off-page signals still matter, and you can still incrementally build them up to infinity so they can end up practically being a bigger factor than your on-site, But in terms theoretically of all the ranking factors weighed equally, pound for pound, all the on-site factors weigh more than the off-page factors. Did that make sense? But the on-site factors have some pretty hard limits. There's a hard limit as to how many pages it will crawl. There's a hard limit on how many pages you can create. But I mean, that's the same problem on the off-page side as well. But the crawl limit is per one site. So it's not really the same because you're building your off-page signals. You're asking for, you're earning, you're building your off-page signals on thousands of different URLs. Therefore, you've distributed the crawl budget problem. And so it has a higher roof that it can go to. So people will throw a million links at a page and go, bullshit, links don't matter, Josh. Look, I just did this. And my answer is, you didn't fucking listen to me. Listen. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Yes, off page you have less of a detriment in scaling to infinity. Theoretically, you can't do infinity on either because we don't live forever. We can't make infinite pages. The tech can't support infinite pages. The tech can't crawl infinite pages. You don't understand how big the word infinite means. It means everything. But on-site pound for pound is more. Plus traffic. If you consider traffic and CRO part of your on-site SEO, then it is like a Pac-Man. It is almost the entire pie chart of how the ranking factors work and where they weigh. It's just that Pac-Man can eat infinite food, and the food would be off-page, if that metaphor makes any sense. But you still are going to have a huge problem competing because Google does throttle the off-page of how much it's going to help you. So there are limits on both. You need to max out your on-site, starting with it first, and then adding on page then. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Another high issue is canonical tags. If you do not have canonical tags, that's a problem for sure. Move in content, internal, external links. So here's a problem. Let me show you. If you are AP News, let me go over to this side. If you are AP News, you can get away with this, right? These links, which are internal, look at them. They're going to AP News down here in the bottom. These are in content blog links. These used to be the shit. Everybody used these to sculpt PageRank, and they were all doing it wrong. All the PageRank should be sculpted up here at the top. This is where you're sculpting PageRank here, or doing link juice flow. This is the wrong place to do it. That is both hurting this page, making this page rank lower, and making the page it points to rank lower. Both for two reasons. One, because it only passes X% of the link juice. We tested in SEO University. These links here are only passing at 50%. These links here are passing at 100%. Not only that, but these links demote. They hurt this page that it's on because Google knows this is blog spam. Google knows about this tactic, especially if they have keyword stuffed in, it's even worse. And the page you're linking to is going to be demoted. Now, again, people are like, but Josh, I do that and I'm ranking. Okay, but it doesn't mean you're ranking efficiently, right? Yes, I'm fully admitting these are holes in your page that will leak link juice out of. But the hole is this tiny. The hole is this tiny like this, as opposed to being huge like this that you would get from here. You want a bigger hole on your page. Boom, boom. You need a bigger orifice for the link juice to flow from. And these also run the risk of demotions. I'm sorry, I'm just telling you what the test, that's what the science showed. So I know people love these, I know they use these, but technically, do I recommend them? No, because the testing I've done shows that they do not help. They are suboptimal. And it's not called search engine half-assery. It's not called search engine gambling. It's search engine optimization, doing it the optimal way to get the optimal rankings, to spend the least amount of money and take the least amount of time to get the highest ranking, because that's what you need to do to be efficient and compete. Or you will be beat out by a competitor who is more efficient and has spent less time and or has a bigger budget. They will beat you, even if they are doing bad things like this, which hurt them a little bit. But because of all the other good things they're doing, like they have 10 million links, then it doesn't really matter. It's like, uh, okay, no, that's a terrible metaphor. I can't even think of it. It's like if you have a huge race car that has you take a nail gun and pump 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 shoot a bunch of little holes in the gas tank. That's bad, right? You will admit that's suboptimal. That's not going to help this race car get to the end faster and beat everybody else. However, if there is this race car's, if this race car's gas tank held like 100 gallons, but everyone else only had like 5 gallons, and they can't even make it to the end, well, then yes, the 100-gallon tank with some holes in it still is going to win because it had $100 million. It had that much more money to do that much more on-site building and off-site building. So it's going to win in the end, but not because it was more efficient, just because they had more money. And that's very important for people doing SEO, because you need to compete with people who have more money than you. You need to compete with people who have more money, who've been doing this longer than you, who've been spending money longer than you. You need to both catch up in many cases and surpass them. And you can, but you need to be lean and mean, and you need to be extra efficient. You need to know how to do this all completely optimally. You need to get into SEO University, quite frankly, and start talking with me, everybody there, and my new AI system, which is going to build your plan completely for you, more or less kind of like on autopilot. And then I'm going to be building the tools to implement it. Pretty soon it's going to be like an AGI of SEO where you talk with it, and it's like, yeah, okay, here's what you do. Do you want me to do that on your site? Okay, here you go, and it'll do it for you. It's kind of like your SEO consultant that works kind of in a box, kind of a deal. All right. So there's some other issues here. Speed issues could be important. CRO issues are important. Entity trust issues are definitely important. Making sure that they know who you are, that could definitely help for sure. Now let's go back here to here. Did they find duplicate content? They did. Boom. Okay, so they found duplicate content on here. Great. So now I'm going to republish this to Replit. That's all you do is just click republish, publish or republish, and it'll get put here on the front-facing site. All right, guys. So I've been yammering on for about an hour. Let me check to see here what kind of questions we got. Let's see here. Who has any questions? Here we go. So Othman says, hey, buddy, how are you doing? Great. Great time first here. Great live first time here. Yeah, Othman, again, great to see you, buddy. Again, if anybody needs any front-end work and you don't want to put up with the Replit bullshit I was doing, and even if you do, you want to get Replit and vibe coding systems are great to get it 80% of the way there or 90% of the way there. And then you hire an expert like Othman to take it the rest of the way. That's definitely a great way to do it. Or hire Othman to start, and he'll consult and say, you should build it like this and build it like that. Here's another issue. Here's a vibe coding tip, is that they're terrible at planning, right? They don't know. I built a whole app that was based on this, like it thought that you could. I based a whole app on a piece of knowledge that was simply not true. So I highly recommend. And then I found out that it wasn't working because what they thought was true was not true. So I highly recommend planning it out with a professional like Othman. And then he says, no, it has to work like this. It works like this. Then you can vibe code a lot of it to save costs, or just to brainstorm it out. You can do that in Replit very easily. And then you bring it to a professional like Othman and get him to code it. Jorge says, share the Zoom link. I'm not on Zoom, my friend. I'm trying to broadcast live to YouTube. If you have any questions, please ask them here on the right-hand side. All right, guys. So we'll end the show there. Thanks very much for listening and watching. Again, SEO is still the place to be. Google is still the place to be. It's still worth it doing SEO. Google has approximately 90% of the traffic. Go ahead. There's some really interesting, we live in a very interesting age. There's some very interesting SEO apps being built, again, by guys like Kyle Sabra, Ryan Mazies, myself, George Digital. You do, and there's some great groups as well, like SEO University. That are building apps. They're basically going to be like a golden age of SEO, where you don't have to do 10 hours of research every day to figure out how to do SEO. The AI does that for you, and you have the wealth of knowledge of people with, combined upwards of like 60, 70 years of experience in SEO. When you combine it, I have 28 years myself, and then a bunch of my other guys have been in SEO for almost as long. When it adds up, we do over $1 million organic in revenue, and we have probably around 100 years experience in SEO. We are the group, and we would love to welcome any new SEOs who want to make their money and have a career and a life doing SEO like we have. All right, guys, so thanks very much for listening and watching. Again, email me if you have any questions at all. Even if it's just a 5-minute question, I don't mind answering. Let me make sure this is here. Email me here. Go to free SEO Audit to try it out. Remember that little trick here of checking out geolocations. And if you have any questions, email me here, and we'll talk to you guys.